All right, hey guys, how's it going? It is Friday and we are live from the SketchUp studio. I am Aaron and I'm going to be modeling stuff. I get to touch the mouse this week, so that's kind of fun. Not to be excluded though, I got some people hanging out with me. So running our producer spot is Tyson. Tyson's going to be the guy pushing my buttons. That's how I'm expecting it. Everybody's got skills. And then with us is, some of you may remember him from Fireside Chat co-hosting Season 1. We got Steve Guzman, a.k.a. The Goose, hanging in here on comments. So if you see comments come from Steve, that's it's an official thing. It's officially Goose. Awesome. So, yeah, I got to admit that I was I was inspired. I was straight up inspired by Tyson's model last week. I really enjoyed the way he took a real thing and modeled it piece by piece. I thought that was really cool. He was pretty accurate, I'll say. He probably more accuracy than I will be doing, I'm sure. But I was trying to think of something, what's something we all see, but it's complex. I could spend a couple hours modeling it, and a ceiling fan is what I came back to. So I went to look at pictures of ceiling fans, and a lot of modern ceiling fans are boring. Like, they're cylinders with like rectangular or slightly ovalish things sticking out of them, and it's not awesome. It's kind of boring. So I want to look at some pictures, and I think what we're going to do is kind of go for a traditional ceiling fan, so an old school kind of ceiling fan. If you look up on our forum, forums.sketchup.com, we do have a topic running on this. It should actually be linked in the description, so you can see some of the pictures we're kind of playing with to do this. So
just to test, let's move that mic a little closer. We're getting a lot of feedback that there's some mic.
It sounds like they're saying that it's overblown a bit. It's going to be down the sensitivity on the mic, so
A little more.
but is it channel 1? Do you know?
yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Okay. So I put channel 1 down just a smidge.
Thanks everybody for hanging with us for a sec. We don't want that audio from the start. That would be for a while.
Is that
Painful.
whoa? Oh, is that better? Is that sounding better, you guys? It looks like a little low on my screen, but I will defer to you all.
Let's, we're not presuming. Let's jump over to here and see if this is any better.
All right. Yeah, why not?
All right, so let us know out there if it's improving.
Since everyone is distorted.
Well, wait, we're doing something.
But hey, this is fun. We were just talking about how this is kind of, no matter how many times we do this, we're always winging it by the time everything's done. So it's kind of fun that, well, no, it's not fun. It's terrible. It's horrible.
It's quieter, but still distorted. So it's almost like the mixer is a bit hot.
It's not good. Is there a master out on there?
Yeah, let's take it out.
We'll drop the out on that and then raise the out back up in OBS.
Test.
It was the same test into the mixer. I don't know if that's actually going to pick up really well. Oh, hey, somebody else please test.
And unfortunately, we are on a delay, so we're not getting immediate feedback from you all. But yeah, please keep letting us know. Good night. We are.
If it's too much of an issue, we can take a 3-minute break and swap it back to our original audio, which wouldn't be too hard to do. So they would just take away Goose's mic, so you have to buddy up with Tyson for that to work.
All right. We can also just.
Somebody said test. Whatever test was the last test. was clean. I think maybe you're coming through clean, Tyson. Everybody else is over.
Okay, so this one's Tyson, and let me know how this mic is good.
This is Aaron. Just check and see how this mic sounds.
All right, this is Goose mic. Test, test, test. Everything's in the green. So, and we don't have headphones to check the output.
I did. I don't. We don't say. Yeah.
This one's long enough. We could just move this one over and.
We can. That's fine. I can just swap here. Can you go back to the intro screen for just 1 second?
Yeah, everybody, pause for a second, and we're gonna do some magic.
That is.
Matt's on vacation, sipping a margarita right now, laughing.
It's uncomfortable for some reason. Not knowing.
Whoever said move over sounded good. The people in the back sound.
Try that one. Mic is great.
If the Tyson's is better, a lot of reverb. Goose's mic is good, but Aaron's is not.
All right, we're gonna check this now and see if this is better. So Tice, you should be able to drag that volume up to like 90 and see how this sounds. This is Aaron speaking. Let me know how this goes, and then Tyson's gonna talk a little bit.
Okay, and this is Tyson. So let us know how Aaron's mic is, how my mic is working.
And now we'll wait for 30 seconds for the live stream to catch up with the comments.
Okay, perfect now, Aaron. Sounds better.
Okay, cool. So you guys are wondering how it's going to use up a whole 2 hours modeling just a simple ceiling fan, and this is how I'm going to delay with technical problems. Boom! All right, let's get into it.
This is Tyson, so Tyson is quiet.
Yeah, you might have to get up on that mic. And then we'll just have Goose yelling from halfway across the room. Okay, so I was mentioning before that we had some basic stuff we wanted to stick to kind of a basic design. So I'm gonna go import an image I downloaded, and that is actually I'm gonna do what I usually do. I'm gonna go to my styles and I'm gonna import this as a watermark. So I'm gonna edit my style. Click over to the watermark tab, hit plus, grab this ceiling fan image I got. I'm gonna put it in the background. I'm gonna put it in the upper left corner. Whoop. And we're gonna make it a little bit smaller. I'll have a bigger version of this up on another screen also, most likely, just so you can see some stuff. But this is the general, again, not looking to machine this or anything like that. It's not need to be perfect, but this is the general kind of look and feel I want to model. So we're going to create this kind of, we got a bell here, got a stem comes up out of there, this main housing where the motor is, got these vents here as well as an opening. Then we'll have 5 ceiling fans. Each fan's gonna have the part that connects up here, come out, this brass section, and then a wooden blade. We got this little lighting section that drops down, and then that's got 3 lights coming off that. So those are the pieces. I wanna try to make everything, which should be something, it should be fun.
Now, not to throw shade right from the start, Aaron, but
Expect no less.
is this, this is basically every ceiling fan that was ever installed in the 90s, right? Faux wood and fake gold.
Absolutely, yeah. That's the one. That's what I figured everybody's seen this, right? Like we've all, I don't want to do some fancy, actually I was kind of looking at some cool propeller fans, which were pretty neat. But but like I said, they're very simple to build. I've done a couple propellers with sub D, and it's about 5 minutes to draw a propeller. So drawing a stem on that and then a round light on the bottom was about a 15-minute build. So this one should be a little bit more work. All right, I'm not going to model to scale, so I'm going to say goodbye to Simele.
She's in the UK anyway.
That's right.
She's out of here.
Yeah, it's bedtime. Okay, so as I build this, I'm going to build in components. So I'm going to build in separate pieces because that's how you're supposed to do it. That is a smart way to do it. I do want to be conscious right now. I'm going to come in here and draw my first circle. I'm going to try to build everything off of the origin too. So this everything will center around this blue axis as I build up. As I put this in, I do want to make sure that the circle I create to begin with is set up correctly for the pieces I'm going to put on there. So what do I mean by that? So there's 5 blades, right? So I want my circle to be divisible by 5. There's also 3 lights. So the easiest way to do this is going to be to make my circle also divisible by 3. So if I do that, then I know that I want to have like at least 15 sides. I'm going to go with 30 because it's going to make for a cleaner circle. But that means when I do that, I can divide the circles as I come up into 5 sections or 3 sections to make those pieces there. Because what that's going to make it, so I'm not going to model 5 blades. I'm going to model 1 blade off of 1/5 of the circle, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Aaron, I got to point out, it sounds an awful lot like you're talking math.
I got to admit, I started working on this on Tuesday to figure out how to make a circle work for 5 pieces and 3 pieces. So there's been some studying involved. That was not off the cuff. I could do basic maths. Oh boy, but I can't talk about it. That's the problem. Let's shut up and model, dude. Okay. Okay, so we're going to start with this bell right here. And I don't know if again, technical pieces. I'm not Tyson drawing a plane. I don't know what these things are called. So I want to come in and draw a circle. Like I said, first thing I'm going to do is I am going to set the number of sides. So I'm going to type in 30. Oop, I don't have my keylogger on. There we go. So 30, enter. Now I got 30 sides. I click here. I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to go fairly large. I'm not going to try to draw. Again, I lost Sumeli, so I don't know what the actual size of this is. But I'm just going to start with a circle this big. Okay, so there's a number of ways I could actually build this piece from here. Tyson, in a couple of his models, has done kind of thing where he pulls up scale, that kind of thing. That works out really well. This has a definite curve on it. So what I think I'm going to do instead of doing something like that is I'm going to come over here on the red axis and draw a little piece like this, and then come in here and maybe draw the profile of the curve so I can do a follow me and just have it all created at once. So I'm just going to draw a line right about here. That represents kind of this flat part right here. Up here, it looks like there's a little bit of a step. So I'm going to just kind of sketch that out now, something like that. And then I'll grab an arc.
Andrew asked, is it too early to save? I think one of those lines.
That's not going to work. Yep. Tyson was paying attention on that one. All right, there we go. And now we'll try to put an arc. Oh, that's much better. All right, I'm not really worried about tangent or anything like that. I'm just kind of creating that shape. So we'll start with that. Grab this and tools. Follow me. All right, so that looks pretty good like that. I'm going to offset slightly, and then I'm going to just push this down inside, and then we will soften and smooth that. All right, so that's going to get created as my first component, and I'm going to call that the toppest part. So not just the top part, but it's the toppest.
Solid naming here. That is solid.
Always name your components. It's just a basic rule. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and save. We don't have sound effects this time, so.
Sorry, y'all, I'm not on the sound effect board. Some of our other excellent co-hosts.
That's a creepy part. I went and looked for a sound effect board. I couldn't find it, so I think Matt was making those noises with his own mouth.
Oh, man. He is that good.
All right, so we have that piece. I'm gonna make like a little stem that's gonna come up here, and I'm just gonna keep that pretty simple. I will go, this is not a circle. Ooh, whoops. Well, there's your problem. There we go. So I'm gonna come out here. Just gonna draw a circle. And I'll push pull that up to here. All right. Just double checking this is staying at 30. So when you first create a circle and you set the sides, you're setting the default number of sides for that circle for that input session. I think if you close a model and reopen it, it resets. Is that right, Tyson?
That's my understanding.
Okay.
24, back to the
Back to 24, yeah. So there's not like a default number of sides. It always goes back like that.
But it does hang out while you're in the session.
Right.
And we never crash, so you never lose that while you're in the session.
Absolutely right.
Never crash. I'm sorry, is that like, let me knock on wood, that's setting bad vibes.
Great. Thanks, buddy. A peek inside here. Push this up to here. All right. I'm going to grab that, make that a component, call that a stem. Awesome. All right, moving on. So now we're going to make this. This is the big part. So I'm kind of looking at what's going on here, and I feel like I'm going to do something similar to what I did before. I'm going to draw a rectangle out here. There's maybe twice the width of the bell, something like that. I come up. Just looking at that, you know, that's roughly how big this thing is. Maybe a little bit wider. No, it looks good. I'll play with that. And this does have some fanciness attached here. So one thing it does have a hole in the middle where the fan blade's attached. So I'm just going to draw a line right here to represent, you know, that's where the edge starts. In fact, I'll just do this right now. That's going to give me that center hole that I will put, the blades will connect into. Then we got this kind of piece where we got these, I called them vents. I don't know that a motor of a fan heats up a lot and has to like disperse a lot of heat, but that's what it looks like. It's a repetitive openings. Yeah, so that I think that is going to kind of like give that a little bit of an angle. I don't think it's gonna be totally flat. And then I think I'm gonna do something like that. I'm gonna put that on both edges. And it looks like I got some like racing stripes here, they're not dense, they're very intentional. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and just grab a circle and I'm gonna pull it up like this. And then I'll grab that, bring that down here. So something like that. I'm gonna try. We're gonna run around a circle and see what happens. All right, I don't actually have a circle to use right now, but I have this path right here that's inside of a separate component. What I can do is I can actually go in, select that line, then I can go to Tools, Follow Me, right click, Close Component, and then click this face, and it will, ooh, that's not right. I made a roll of toilet paper instead.
That would have been very appropriate a year ago.
That's true.
It was in high demand.
All right, something didn't work with what I just did. I've never seen that happen before. So I'm just gonna draw a new circle. That'll be simple. I'm gonna just pull a circle out right here. Whoops. On the blue axis. Pull that out to here. Still my 30-sided circle. That's important because I do want everything to match. So I'm gonna select that. I'm gonna go to Tools, I'm gonna Follow Me and click here. That looks better. Okay, so now let's flip this upside down and take a look.
Booyah.
I think that's looking pretty good. So you notice that the inside of that circle, or where the circle was, is gone. What follow me does, just like push-pull, when it pulls a face across an existing face, it'll sometimes get rid of it. So I lost my circle face here. So easy enough though, I'll just draw a line, get that back.
You find, like sometimes when using follow me in this way, I'll move that surface completely out of the way, but directly for that reason, because it tends to lose. Like, do you see that?
Yeah, generally speaking, I'll put my path off of where the rest of it's gonna go. And I didn't do that.
It's good showing it though. Like, it's not 100% consistent that you lose a surface, but it's enough that it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely, yeah. Not all the time, but often enough. But I will say, with the newest release, I've had less push pulls show up as back faces. Have you found that too, since the newer version, since the last release where they did the butter side up thing?
I'll have to think on that. I mean, it happens sometimes anyway. There's the fun things about SketchUp that you feel like you can't quantify because they happen sometimes, but not
always. That is true. All right, so that's right. It's an individual. Don't put your labels on me. All right, this center circle is not big enough. You see that there? So I'm going to play a little bit with, be kind of intentional about playing with some sticky geometry and some auto folding. I could go back, I could undo a couple times, go back to my profile and move that line over to make that bigger. It's not quite as simple as just making the hole bigger, because remember, this right here is domed. See that slight? So fortunately, because of sticky geometry, if I hit my modifier key, Option on Mac, Control on Windows, and then drag this corner here, it will make that hole bigger, but because it's stuck, it'll move that back here. See, it actually pulled it back, which is really cool. I know a lot of people, if you're not ready for sticky geometry, it's the worst thing in the world. Because like, I remember drawing a fence before I fully understood the use of groups and components, and just every picket was stuck to every other piece, and like it was like unraveling spaghetti that had been glued together. It was terrible. But if you know what you're doing and you know that this is how it's going to work, then coming in and making these kind of manipulations is actually pretty cool. I didn't want to do that. All right, worth another save right now. See what else is going on here. Barry's asking why I'm modeling upside down. Just because this is easier for my brain to model than to model like this. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I put some acoustical baffles on the ceiling earlier. My shoulders are sore. So maybe I just don't want to look, I don't know. I do this a lot. I flip stuff upside down and model it because something about this, like I end up craning my neck weird, and it's totally psychological, I think, but this makes more sense to me.
Well, make yourself a component and flip it upside.
There we go.
Then for everybody who needs
Perfect.
to see it.
There, okay, so let me make this into a component. I'm going to call this the motor. We'll make this whole thing into a component and call it the fan. And then I will make a copy of it, stick it over here, flip it 180 degrees. Now it looks ugly. I'm not going to look at it. It's over there. If you guys want to see, you can go over there and look. Okay, let's keep working on this thing. All right.
Just lay in the fountain.
Okay, so I'm going to put these little, I don't know, non-vent vent things in here. I do want to take advantage of these segments. So I want to turn each of these probably into 2 vents, it looks like, because there's definitely more than 30 vents around here. There's a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'll just do it right now. I'm going to come around and get rid of all but one piece right here. Then I'm going to grab that one piece. I'm going to double click to grab the edges. I'm going to make that into a component. And I'm just going to call this vent. This is going to be a temporary component. I'm not going to keep these as components in the model. They're going to merge back with the geometry in a few minutes. But for right now, it's going to make it easier for me to do all this modeling by having this as a component. I'm going to take that and see if I can find the center. Nope. Find the center of this. I don't have any circles left. I've destroyed everything. Not a big deal, because I can just draw a line across the middle here, and then I'm going to use that middle point as the start from point. Modifier copy to here, 29x. All right, there we go. I don't have to do this. You can actually do this kind of modeling beforehand, so I could actually come in and just make my vent first and then copy it, but it's kind of fun to watch the whole thing come together on the array. All right, so that's right, fancy. I'm gonna break this geometry in two pieces. I'm gonna grab one, I'm gonna do an offset, I'm gonna pull it in like this. I'm going to double click here. That looks okay, but they're not quite that big. See, they kind of step back a little bit further. So I'll just come in here, draw a line parallel to this, like that, and that looks better. And I'll do the same thing up here, draw a line parallel to this, just hover over a line, then you get that parallel snap. All right, so now, all right, so that looks, we're heading in the right direction here.
The anticipation is palpable. I'm just like waiting. Oh yeah.
I'm going to throw a couple arcs on here to just knock the corners off. Double click, double click, double click, double click, double click, double click, and then down here, guess what? Double click, double click. All right. Push that in.
If I was Matt, I'd be like,
Hey, see that? I'm pretty sure that's how he does it. Yeah. All right. So that looks pretty good. Just to view it, I'm going to turn off my hidden geometry. I'm going to come in here with my smooth modifier. Smooth these out. All right. I will admit, smoothing is kind of like hand stitching for me. I know I could triple click and just use the slider, but I kind of like making these edges disappear, and like it's kind of fun. It's gratifying. I don't like to overuse the satisfying word, because everybody calls everything satisfying nowadays. Like anytime paint dries, it's satisfying, but gratifying, that's the term I'll use. Just to see what this looks like, I am going to shift erase to get rid of my two edges. And I'm going to come out here and take a look. That looks pretty slick. All right, so if I was worried about keeping these as components, because I want to come back later and I want to, I don't know, edit these or make changes or something like that, I could leave it just like that. If I wanted to come in and I wanted to make this all into one solid piece, because this is a thing that I want to, I don't know, 3D print or something like that, then I could grab all these pieces, excuse me, and explode them. That's going to join it back into a single mesh there, and now I just have it's just one piece. Your call. And this is something, this comes up a lot. This is modeling for a specific purpose. I don't know what my specific purpose is in this case. I'm looking at this more like a entourage building. So I have a specific fan that a customer wants to see included in the model, and I couldn't find on 3D Warehouse. I'm going for that level of detail, where it's good enough that you can tell exactly what it is, but maybe not precision dimensions, maybe renderable. It's high enough quality that I could probably render it, but that's kind of my path right now. That's where I'm headed. All right.
well, it looks lovely. Lovely, lovely.
Those vents showed up good from the upside down view. Looks like I'm making a cake.
Oh, nice. Totally making a tier cake.
Yeah.
Let's spice that ceiling fan up with some colorful colors.
Yeah, let's put pink in here and you're married! Exclamation point. All right, I'm gonna come in and this middle piece right here, if you guys have ever installed your own ceiling fan, there's like a ring there with a bunch of holes in it that each of these blades get connected to. So I'm gonna put that in. Like I said, it is a ring because this center shaft continues down and that's where the light assembly connects to. So I'm just going to do something like this. I'm gonna offset that a little bit like this. Get rid of that. And then I'll bring this up. And then that is what my fans will connect to. And right now, before I go a whole lot further, I'm gonna go ahead and break this into fifths just for my own reference.
Nice thinking. You're
One,
ahead of the game here.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I type 4x, hey, I did that math on the fly, totally. It worked. Okay, so I'm gonna make that its own component. I'm gonna call it a ring because I'm 90% sure I don't know what this is called. All right, now that part, all of that leading up to that was pretty easy. I just looking at a fan, I had an idea of how to do all of that. Here on down, I'm not so certain. So obviously the housing of the light here, pretty simple. The lights themselves, I got a follow me, and a bulb. Pretty simple. So this lighting thing's pretty easy. It's going to be 5 or 6 follow me's and then positioned right. These fan blades, I would like to make something fairly accurate to the way they look, but I don't have a plan for how to do that yet. So this is gonna be something. I'm gonna build one, like I said. I'm gonna build, I made this whole thing off axis, which was stupid. I'm gonna grab all of this and I'm gonna spin it so it is on axis. There we go. So see, it aligns with the red axis now. So if I build this blade that comes off of this side, I can build everything on the red axis. Live and learn, guys. All right, so so the base of the blade screws into this piece. So I'm gonna grab this piece right here, copy it out of this group, come out of context, and edit, paste in place. I'm gonna take that piece, I'm gonna offset it just slightly, and then I'm gonna give that a little bit of chonk, as Jody would say.
Which he has showed up. Yeah, he jumped in just to,
He did?
make his presence known. He may be gone by now. Get out of here, Jody.
He's got to warm it up. He's got to come back to work next Friday or next Monday. So he's easing into coming back from vacation, I guess. All right. So I'm going to grab this and start my component. So I'm going to make a component, and I'm going to call this my blade assembly, because it'll actually be 2 pieces. All right. How can I put this off a little further? I will come in and put screw holes in. All right, there we go. See?
Put off the decision making.
I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna do this still, so yeah.
Really sympathetic to this approach.
There we go. I'm gonna take that circle and copy it over here. This won't be a real screw hole. Again, I'm not making this functional. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm going to offset just slightly, like that. Do the same thing here. I will take this piece and move it vertically that far. And then this is what I usually do for screw holes or for screws. I'll just take this and I will raise that back up to here. And then I'll do something like this. Create that kind of geometry. And then get rid of this. And then we'll just push this down. And that will work as a screw hole for this level of detailing. Obviously, again, modeling for what you need. If I wanted a lot more detail, if I wanted to actually dome that over, if I wanted to actually have a screw with threads going all the way through because I'm doing an exploded view, that's totally cool. You can do that. For this level of detail where, again, my final view is going to be something like, you know, looking at it over like this, that will be more than enough. I would say, I guess I can't put a percentage on it, but there is a large number of people who struggle with the size of their model, not because they're doing bad models, but because they're not modeling to the right level of detail. Like if you're doing an architectural building, you don't need to model the furniture in the drawer in the kitchen. You can, but it's not going to make for a happy model.
Or the same thing, you just start grabbing anything from the warehouse and throwing it in without any sort of investigation as to, yeah, is that drawer you threw in there, have every screw modeled, and the drawer alone is 10 megabytes worth of ultra fine geometry and textures? Get rid of that.
I won't say you deserve it after making that decision, but no, I wouldn't say that to you guys. Not in front of you.
Nobody here makes that, nobody here does that, right? Like, we're talking about everybody else.
That's right. That's what other people do.
People do it, though.
They do it. It's true. All right. No more stalling. So this piece right here is kind of, it's like, I'm going to call it like half round material that comes up off of here, scoots over, and then creates this very specific, again, if you've seen a ceiling fan in the last 30 years, you recognize this fan holding shape right here. So I'm going to do my best to kind of emulate that without any drawings of any kind. And we'll see what happens. I'm kind of thinking what I might do is I might build it flat out of like the same width geometry and then come back in and use round corner or something to create the curves on here. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know, we'll see what happens. So these things come out just about, actually not quite out past the motor here. So I'm gonna do that. I'm only gonna model half of this, of course, because it's a symmetrical shape. All right, now, feel like, here we go, look at this. All right, draw another arc from here to here. Draw a line like that maybe, and then add an arc here. See how this looks. Okay. I might play with, may distort that a little bit. I don't have, so here's a thing that happens regularly. I don't have this, so I want to put a little arc on this blade, or on this pokey tine. I don't know, do fan blade holders have tines? But I want to create kind of a half circle and round this over. It's actually making me think that I should probably make that a little bit bigger and then grab all of this and make it a little chunkier.
Chunky is an official word, right? Like it's in the actual help center.
I've seen it places before. I don't know where those places are, but I have seen it. So this point, kind of sculpting. Okay, so again, I want to make a round piece here. there's a couple ways you can go about this. So if I just come over and try to draw an arc like this and just kind of eyeball something out like that, there's a good chance that the end of this is not going to blend into the next half, right? Because it's gonna meet at a point like this or a little butt like that. So what I will do in this case is I'm gonna take this line right here. I'm gonna Option, flip it 180 degrees, then draw an arc from here to here, and then pull that out here until it makes the right kind of point right there. And then I can just get rid of that half. So that gives me a point that I know is going to mirror over and look like a full arc. The other reason you do that is, so this arc right here is so many segments, and then this arc right here would be half as many segments because I chopped it in half, as opposed to having a whole bunch of segments right here and then having this look different. All right, now I'm going to take this. Oh, there's still one more piece. Well, no, I'm going to go offset this like this. Now it's got a thing here. All right, hold on. I'm going to offset a very specific distance. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to offset exactly 2.5 inches. The reason that's going to matter is because I'm going to come in here now. I'm going to add another arc from here to here, pull it across like that, and then I'm going to grab this and offset that 2.5 inches to give myself all of these things looking the same.
Now, not to derail you as you keep going, but I'm curious. When you made that arc above so that you could resolve how that point would meet, do you find you like that method where you draw an extended line and create an arc that meets halfway across, or do you sometimes go in and use the method where you'll draw a straight line on that last arc segment too? Do you have a preference? Do you have thoughts on when you might do one or the other?
I kind of like, I don't know, I guess I've never actually thought that deeply about how that works. It's a good question.
Either. But you're a deep thinker, so I had to ask.
Sometimes, on accident. This ended up looking a little bit anemic, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bit more width. I'm going to have to do interior and exterior, so I'm going to offset, I'll try to stay ½ inch on either side. So I'm going to say 0.5, and then I'm going to do the same thing here, grab this line, this line, this line, offset that, 0.5, and then I got to grab, I may actually, you know what I should probably be doing right now is welding this stuff while I select. So if I select that, weld those edges, that's just gonna make it easier to work with as I move forward. 0.5, and you guys,
Weld tool,
native weld,
love it.
right click, weld. All right, so you guys notice, obviously, it offset the wrong chunk, but, oops, all I have to do is close that in on 2 points. That will fill, and then I can get rid of that. And same thing here. When you have this like this empty donut shape, all you got to do is put in 2 pieces. As long as everything's flat, everything's coplanar, two line segments. And it doesn't. I'm doing corners because they're easy to grab, but anywhere 2 lines will close that up. Awesome. Now I'm just going to go in and delete those edges. That looks better. That looks closer to what I'm doing, what I'm trying to do. All right. Yeah, that looks like the thing I look up on the ceiling and see. Okay. Now,
Nobody has asked yet about your navigation. Are we that established?
predictable? We just do the same thing over and over again? You guys don't care anymore? I'm gonna pull that up 2 inches. 1 inch. Wait, no, this is wider than 2 inches now. Hold on. Midpoint to midpoint, 3.5 inches. So I do 1.5 inches. That should still work. For this part right here, again, I don't know how well this is all going to work. And I wasn't taking the bait. I want somebody to actually ask before I spend time explaining what that is. 1.75, come up this way, 2, come this way, 3.5, back down 2. So that gives me this rectangle now. This rectangle right here is the same profile as these pieces going around here. So my theory, I really should have made this into a separate group. I'll do that now. Just a temporary working group to separate that geometry from what I already created down here. All right, so my theory now, I'm gonna have this come up, follow this. This part isn't theory. This part I know is going to work. So I'm going to say tools, follow me, click, boom. Nice. That looks how it should. Just do a quick push pull to overlap like that. Slide that in so it's on the... All right, and then to get this all intersected correct, I'm just gonna grab a mask like that and say, intersect face with selection. That'll give me some lines, and then I do make my own sound effects when I model. I don't know if anybody else does that. You guys ever do that?
Really great models, absolutely.
Oh, so there's a criteria. You suck, you get no sound effects.
All right, I got to throw this one at you while we have a moment.
All right.
Lawrence gave us a great dad joke.
All right.
So, you know, 2 wind turbines are standing in the field. One says, "Hey, what sort of music do they like?" The other says, "Well, I'm a big metal fan."
Yep,
There we go.
that was it.
Thank you.
Awesome.
We're well armed now when we go home to our kids.
Whew. Was Jody still on for that? Because
I know.
he is the dad joke king, so I feel like you would appreciate that. All right, so I'm gonna save, and then we're gonna get into. I think this is the only extension I planned on using in this because I couldn't think of a good way to. I guess follow me might work, but this seemed simpler. I don't know, maybe we'll try it both ways. So I'm going to go to Tools, Fredo 6 Collection. We're going to do the little Fredo corner, round. And I want to do a 1.5 inch. No, too big. Okay, 1. Now you're lying to me. I don't think that's true. Oh, hold on. I'll get rid of this. Tools, Fredo 6, Fredo corner, round. What? 1 inch is too small, too big? All right, so let me try this. I'm going to deselect all this and try to just do this portion. Fredo 6, Fredo corner, round corner. Oh, no. All right. So when I have an extension and it's not doing what I want to do, I usually try to feed it smaller pieces. So we'll try just doing a round corner just on this piece right here. That works. Check. Do 1. Okay. Then I'll move across. Come grab this. Round. Check. Okay, good.
Wouldn't it be kind of interesting if, here's a suggestion for you makers out there. kind of like Photoshop has actions. Sometimes if you do a sequence like this where you're grabbing things and then you're trying to invoke the same extension. So you're going to go through the menu for every Fredo corner. Instead of being able to say, hey, I want to assign an action or like it repeats something. And once you select it, then you can hit a keyboard shortcut that says run the exact same extensions or, you know, with the exact same settings. Something like that. I think that would be kind of interesting.
That would be. Yeah, and I don't, this is just something I've done so much just because I do stream and create videos and stuff so much is I don't usually have very many toolbars up on my screen. You guys are probably picking up on that. So that's why I'm going back up into the menu. But like Tyson's saying, I am running the same commands with the same input each time as well. So, but yeah, it'd be nice to just have a again button.
I say that, but I don't actually know how often I'd use it.
Yeah, it never hurts to ask for stuff you don't want. I think this may have been causing my problem. There's some geometry somewhere in all this stuff that's causing issues. And I don't know what it is, but I don't care to find out. I just want to fix it. That's what I've learned from you guys is when there's a problem, just fix the problem and don't troubleshoot. Don't tear it apart. Just fix it. And this is easy enough where actually, you know what I could have done is I really could have made half of this and just copied it over. Weird, look at that. For some reason, huh.
I also find it weird too when it's as in your case, it's something that you're like, it should be mirrored. It should be
Exactly the same.
Work just like it did on the other side. And there's good suggestions coming in about using solid inspector, enlarge it, use solid inspector, run it.
Yeah.
Those are
Great ideas,
suggestions.
for real,
Absolutely.
yeah. But I don't wanna. I just wanted to do what I say.
But sometimes you're just sort of brute force mode.
Yeah, easier to do a couple clicks and investigate. And like I said, I feel like in general, your all's feedback is, maybe that's what I'm assuming you guys are like, I don't want to watch him do this anymore. All right, I got an issue here where this broke apart for some reason. This is a pain in the butt because this is a special kind of pain in the butt because I can't just open a window like this to grab it because I'll grab these lines over here too. Oop, get out of there.
You draw an edge up there that will isolate that curved surface and then double click on it. So draw an edge up near the top.
Like here.
Like here or
to here?
Farther down the line.
Oh, that's a great idea. Like if I did. Oh, it's too much here.
No, like.
But watch this. But watch.
Okay. Yeah. See. Same idea.
Then I can just grab that, and that. Somebody write that down and message it to me so I remember to make a skill builder on that because that was nice. I like that. I would say that. Here I'll just. Oh no, it's going to be separated because I got those. I got those lines and they're breaking it, so I can't. I have to do it as two welds. But pow. Okay, now if I step around here, can I do this? No, that's gonna give me those back edges. So I'll just. This is easy enough. There's a number. I think it's around 10. If I have more than 10 edges on something, I'll figure out a shortcut. If it's 10 or so, 10 to 12 edges, I'll just go pick it because it's quicker and easier. All right, let's try. Let's see if this does it now because I'm hoping that weirdness that was happening here was the problem. So maybe now, if I go to, still doesn't like it. it's saying there's an error occurring too. So I want to just try this one edge. Nope, that one works okay. All right, what about this? What about these two? Because this corner is really what I'm afraid of losing. But let's see. Oh, you know what? This might be too small. Yeah. This guy too. Okay, so what do you do when this happens? Oh, that one's okay. Weird. All right. So once something exists like this, my segments get grayed out. I can't, because I extruded that face, I can't change that. So what I would do in this case is draw a line from here to here, drop that back down to nothing like that, draw a new arc, and maybe I'll go in and put like 8 segments in here, here to here, pull that straight out, pull that back up, get rid of that, option erase, and let's just check. I'm just going to grab this piece, and this piece, and see if that works on round corner. Hey. All right, so I got to do, because I got 2 pieces here. And actually, it's hard to see, but I do actually have a part where it kicks out too much here and here. So I'm actually not too upset about changing this. Oh, you know what I didn't do though? This was silly. I'm going to. There we go. All right, this might work. Let's see. Here's my acceptable number of edges to manually select. Walk around here. I guess I could weld it again, but it's going to go away. This edge is going to be, these edges will be gone as soon as I run Fredo Corner. All right, extension. Nope, window. Nope, tools. So that's where I'm at, round corner. Oh, look at that. Well, got a little too excited there, apparently.
You hope that closes up nice and easy.
I really hope this fixes it. Oh, almost everything almost was terrible. Okay, so this is looking all right. I think I'm going to thicken up this. This doesn't look like it's right, so I'm going to grab just this part, scale, and then let that squash back out like that. Give myself a little more, attachment girth. Stick that there. That looks cool. All right, there's one more thing that happens with the fan blade, and that is tilt. So this does not just sit like, hold on, oh, I gotta fix this. Okay. It doesn't just sit like this. It actually has, it's not a big tilt, but it does along here, it's tilted. So I was trying to think of different ways that would be fun to do that. I couldn't think of anything that was actually fun, but I don't like the way this looks either. Hold on, I'm distracted now. I'm gonna grab from here on down, deselect.
We got dad jokes coming in by the, in volume now.
Oh, great.
A couple people insisting you save now that you got the first part of that blade done, but you're
It's probably not a bad idea. All right.
you've shouldn't be able to lose anything more than 5 minutes, right?
That's right. But hey, 5 minutes that you guys don't want to watch again. So I respect that. I respect your time and energy. All right, a little bit of cleanup here. All right, grab that piece and plop it straight down. All right, so to make that tilt, that angle, there's a couple ways I can think to do it. I would like to do it, well, I was thinking about like, this could be done pretty easy manually because I could come in and I could basically cut segments here and then just kind of rotate a little bit. But I wanted to play with a specific extension, that being box scaling to, oh, I got some errant geometry up here. There we go. Box scaling, if you guys have seen that as part of Fredo Scale, which is it's just a cool tool. So I wanted to play with it. It's one of those things where I'm like, that would be a fun thing to play with, but what do I need to use it for? And I can never come up with it. So we're gonna look at it. So if I go to Tools, I should probably go to Save. I don't remember, I guess I did just save, but Fredo 6 Collection, Fredo Scale, and Box Twisting. Now I gotta remember how this works. I'm gonna click some things, and that's twisting the wrong way. That was not what I wanted to do. Okay.
I've never seen this.
Fredo Scale's super, super cool. Maybe I'm thinking of radial bending. I don't know, this could be disastrous.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Okay, I'm gonna have to.
It's not doing what you want, but it's still doing really interesting
It's
stuff.
really cool. It's another one of those times where I'm like, I haven't used this for a while. I should play with that, and I probably should have played with that beforehand. But I mean, Fredo Scale overall, for real though, if you guys haven't played with it, check it out because the stuff that it does is just, I mean, I will say it's awesome. It's incredible. The way that you can take simple geometry and deform it. Some people will take like basic meshes and twist it up and then like make those meshes into buildings. Like the mesh lines become where windows go, and it's just some really cool stuff you can do. This model, this piece right here is not really set up for what I wanna make it do. So I'm going to do this instead. I'm gonna grab, I'm gonna put a plane in here. Was it somebody on this stream who mentioned right for red for remembering the? Because I've been using right for red and I've actually been nailing the inference locking since I remembered that. So thank you if anybody here did that. So all I'm doing right now is I'm getting a surface in here that will break this. And then I'm going to copy it over to right here. And then I'm going to delete that. And I'm just going to grab this, all of this. And I'm going to rotate. I don't think it's very much. I'm going to say like 10 degrees. Yeah.
Oh, setting up for some hand stitching.
Tyson knows. Tyson knows. I'm just gonna sit back, relax. The sweet sounds of stitching. Yeah, I definitely need Matt to put together some stitching soundtrack when he gets back.
We talked a little bit about the merits of jazz when I was doing the Sydney Opera House. Some people are not fans, but if you know, to me it feels like when we get into hand stitching, some smooth jazz or just some easy listening, something that's just like, boom.
Yeah. I can see that.
No, that was fun. That was a fun conversation when it came up. I don't remember the context, but somebody was throwing shade at jazz, and it's like, I'm not touching that. Like, there's different types of jazz, and some people are super gonna love it, and then other people are like, no, worst ever.
Just leave that one alone. Walk away.
Not touching.
All right, so there we go, which is, I think that's pretty close to how that all works. So I'm just gonna grab just that section. Okay, and a little bit of a little extra racing. That's interesting. I wonder why I didn't want to get rid of those. All right, so there we go. So we have that fan holder, the blade holder. The blade's going to be pretty simple, I think. I just made it far more complex by twisting that before I drew the blade. So, way to go, buddy.
Do you know how much twist you in?
10 degrees. It was 10 degrees. So that's not too bad. It's just, yeah, would have been easier if I had drawn this first. But live, learn from Aaron's mistakes. All right, so I'm going to draw a couple lines out here. I'm just going to draw a big old rectangle to start with. So basically, right now I'm just creating a working plane. So since I am off axis, I guess this is a good, I was thinking I could do some stuff like I could come in here and reassign the axes so they are pivoted 10 degrees. That's an option. I could do that. I could go into a group and set the axes for that. But this is simple enough where I can create a working plane like this and then just use move to make this all big enough. No, that's not what I want to do. There we go. All right, and because I want this to be symmetrical, I should probably only draw half of this blade. So let's come in here, use that line to make sure that, okay, so this is still on the red. So even though it's twisted, this center of my holder here still follows the red axis. That's good to know. Since this is the middle, I'll just take this down like this and then take it out like this on the red axis. Not worrying about where parallel is, but only worrying about where the red axis is, which is where I'm a little bit off right here.
This is one of the cases I just realized based on some of the comments that we could have queued up a few things in prep, you know, like let's twist again. There's some songs
We did.
could have queued up.
Drop that ball. That's true. Come on, Matt.
Oh man,
We'll blame that on Matt. Matt's not here.
I'm a bad co-host.
Thanks for telling what we should have done. Okay, here's the problem. So this blade, I'm getting rid of this. Let's start over. I'm going to draw a rectangle. There we go. Pull that on the red axis also. That up the center. That bisected. Perfect. Take it back down here. Also perfect. I guess we gotta go a little bit further so it goes to the edge of the holder. It'll come out parallel to this thing. Go long, and come back up red. Cool. All of that to not have to click on the axis tool. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to grab that and make that its own group. I'm gonna come in here and let's see. So these blades generally, I'm gonna have something kind of come out. They're a little bit bigger than the holder. They go just beyond. So I'm gonna do something like, I distorted that apparently. So we'll make that look. Nope. I'll come in here and grab that line right there, copy that, come back out, go into here, edit, paste in place, then grab that, and I can offset like that. Little lines just going past where they're supposed to. All right, and then this would be straight, would be on the red axis, but they flare out just ever so slightly. So I'm just gonna come out like something like that. And then that was actually a little bit, that's probably a little too flared. Go something more like that.
It's your call.
Flare,
It's
it
your
is.
personal, like,
Flare as much as I want. Fan, stupid fan.
this is your.
That's right. I forgot. I'll do what I want. Okay.
This fan can't tell you what to do.
Not the boss of me fan. All right. What got broke? I broke something. All right, undo a couple times. And I'm going to hide everything but my fan blade for just a second because I got too much stuff going on. There's my problem. This line right here. I drew it out in a space, and what I should have done was use a snap point. So what I can do is just, I can stay on here and just, as long as I drag along, see I'm on that red square on there, then I know I'm snapping to the surface. Whereas those ones, as soon as I went out in space, it pulled it up off of there. There we go, that's better.
Snappy.
Snappy. All right, so I'll go draw that arc down here again, and then get that little whoop, I think is what that's called, is a little whoop. All right, now what I need to do is I need to take that surface and I need to make a copy of it along here 180 degrees. So I'm gonna grab it, go to rotate, red axis, because it is along the red axis, and then grab it, option, and copy it 180 degrees. So I'm just gonna type in 180. I don't really have anything to snap to for that one. And then we can delete that. And then show me the rest of everything so I can say, pull this up this way. And we will boom. Oh, I'm pretty happy about that. All right, why is this? I don't like this line. All right, everything's cool. All right, so that looks good. I'm gonna have to put my pieces back together. So here I have two pieces, so I'm gonna go ahead, explode this, and I should see that joining. Yeah, see I don't have dark lines there, so that's good. I will have a surface inside here, so if my goal is a nice solid model, I'd want to get rid of this piece.
Because you're gonna 3D print this fan, right?
Oh, you better believe not. Odds are against it. All right, so if I come in here, okay, so I'm gonna grab this blade, Command X to copy it. I come in here, I'm gonna make this a new component called blade holder. I'm going to edit, paste in place. This is a group currently, so I'm going to make it into a component, which I will call a blade. And now I have my blade assembly. And then inside my assembly, I have a holder and a blade. Awesome. All right, so I'm gonna grab this guy right here. I'm gonna go to rotate, go to the center, grab any one of these lines, it doesn't matter which one, Option, and drag it to the next one, and then say 4x. And now it's starting to look like a ceiling fan. Okay, now I can look at the underside of this and be like, okay, that's working.
All paid off. That's a lovely moment.
You guys hit that like that moment where you're like, okay, I'm pseudo BSing like I know what I'm doing right now, but I keep at it, and then oh yeah, it worked. Yeah, I knew it was gonna be fine all along. Not saying that I was doing that. I was wondering if you guys do that. Awesome. So that looks pretty cool. Let's get this little lower light assembly in here. I'm going to start with another circle, pull that out part way, pull that up. Needs to clear the blades. And then I'm going to make kind of what I think that shape looks like. It's hard to... modeling reflective surfaces is kind of a drag. It's kind of frustrating. Put this down lower like this because
I don't know what that is.
really think it kind of comes out a little lower like this. But we'll figure it. We got this. We got this. Not worried. Not even. It looks like it's. Oh, you know what? It has. I do. Okay. It does have. So it got like a little bit. Looks like I got a little bit of a lip right here. You can, or is that just? No, I think that's just a reflection. So. Let's put a little arc right here. The tangent, the purple arc means it's tangent to both lines. And then right here, this is the little thing that pull chain comes out of. See this little guy coming down here? I got a little thing there. So I'm gonna go ahead and make up what I think this looks like. So it's gonna be hollow like that. And then they're usually needlessly complex. Like, is there a reason to put all this knurling and everything else on this thing? But yes, we will say there is a reason for it. Something like that. All right, and then we'll take this circle. We will just say, follow me with that. So serious question. For you guys out there, when you do radial follow me like that, this has to be bigger, but when you do a radial follow me, how often do you know what it's gonna look like? Be honest. Like how often do you throw some curves into like a molding or something like that and then go, follow me? Oh, that turned out nice. Because I would say half the time I do radial follow me like that, I'm not 100% sure what it's gonna look like. I'm just wondering if I'm the only one who has that happen.
I can only say for myself that it's almost reflect that the first follow me is immediately followed by Control Z, because it's usually only by the third or fourth that it gets where it's supposed to be.
That sounds fair.
That's just me. I thought that was standard practice.
That's all right. So follow me and then undo. Yeah, that works. All right, make this a new component, and this is going to be called lighting array. Copy it. No, I'm going to cut that because I did not put it into my main component. That's why paste in place is such a great tool. All right, so I'm going to want to, all right, so two things are going to happen now. So on this piece right here, I have to have 3 lights come out. So I have 1, 2, 3. They just kind of stick out at an angle. I'm going to take this geometry that it'll follow me. I'm going to make it its own component, copy it, and stick it on the side because I'm going to have a second pull chain coming out of the side here also. I'm going to start by coming in here. So inside this group, or inside this component, I'm going to make this a separate component. I'm just going to call this lighting array light. Nope, that was not what I wanted to call it at all. Base. Sometimes words do things. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to show my hidden again. So remember, I intentionally made this thing 30 pieces, 30 edges on my circle, because it was divisible by 5 because I have my 5 fan blades, but it was also divisible by 3 because I have 3 lights. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in here and look and go, okay, where was I? This was the side I was lined up on. So I'm going to come in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So when I have my light come off of this corner, which actually I'm kind of thinking I need to make this, I think I do need to redo this. I think you're right, Tyson, because I think I need a bigger corner with more meat to stick a tube into. But what I would want to do is I want to come in here and grab, you know, all of these pieces, and then I'll end up making those into a new component that I will radial array around, just like I did with the previous piece. In fact, now knowing that I want to go through and make a new follow me, I'm going to make this easy on myself. I'm going to make it easy on myself by first off figuring out where that is. So this was one piece. So I'll take that over till it hits that geometry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the second one. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, so close. All right, take that back like that. All right, that's what I want. I want to hold on to that. So I've entered mad scientist time, so forgive me if I'm quiet for just a second. I gotta figure out what I'm doing. All right, so that I can get rid of. This.
I really do this so much.
What are you doing? Shut up.
Oh, no. That's the point.
Okay, cool. All right, so and I can actually get rid of all of this too. Get rid of all of this. Because now I'm going to come in here. So I want my goal here is a wider arc to attach those lights to. So I'm just going to go like this. I could have done the undo and gone back. That would have worked perfectly fine. But one of the nice parts about doing it this way is I can now take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can take just this arc, just this part right here, and follow me with this face. And oh, it's hitting that thing that I never remember to think about. Never mind. I will just take it all the way around. And then break it apart after. So now I'm just going to go like this. All right, this is the piece I want. This chunk right here is what I was trying to get to. Now that I have that, I'm going to make it a component. This is a temporary piece. This is going to get joined back inside with the rest in a minute. Actually, I don't need this either. I could just get this line in here.
There's a fan being suggested called a modern forms Morpheus. But in truth, it looks kind of like if you had just made this a propeller. I spoke about at the beginning, where it's very industrial, very simplified, and yeah, almost like an old wooden 3-bladed propeller.
Which is cool. There, I saw a lot of blades that were like that for sure. That's just not what I was shooting for, I guess. Okay.
I was really hoping, there's sort of the tropical Bahamas flavor fan with the big leaf and,
Oh boy.
I thought you'd do that one and throw a flamingo in there. And flamingo was really getting me excited.
Well, that didn't happen. All right, I'm gonna start a new piece right here. I'm gonna grab this and I'm going to make it a component. Oh, no. I'm gonna call it a thing because it really doesn't matter what it's called at this point. I'm gonna take it now and show hidden, and I'm going to, oops. Grab it by this piece right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna put it right here. I'm going to rotate it. That. I'm going to also rotate it down like this. And there we go. And now that is what, just slightly off. But that's what we'll use to, hold up, back it up, back it up. All right, so we'll rotate. I made it 30. I'm regretting that I made this 30. I should drop this back to 24. It's so much easier to work with 24 segments than when I rotate it, I'm gonna rotate along the box itself. I can't click to that. Oh, come on, man. All right.
That's interesting. So rotate, let's into our move. Good.
Yeah, I thought that was, thought I had that. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I just need to come in here. I need to get a line to rotate off of. So I'm gonna grab this line right here. There we go. That's the line I need. I just need that line. And then I can take this and I can click here and drag across this line. And then when I tip it down, it'll be perfectly centered. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. All right, and the rest of this really, I make this joke, but the rest of this kind of does itself. From here on in, this is fairly simple because at this point, we're just gonna do a handful of follow me's. So I'm gonna come out here like this. I'm doing everything because the reason I went and I didn't just put a face on there and push it out, I made it vertical intentionally to begin with, so that when I rotated it, my axes would come along with it. So now I can work on everything aligning to the axes, and then when I come out, it'll be tilted over. So I'll come here and we'll do this a couple pieces. Come over like this. I don't know how this is all gonna scale, but we'll see. Oops, that was rough. Something like that, and then an arc. Say here, tools, follow me. So remember how we were talking about when you do a follow me, it erases the face? This is the reason why. Because when I hit this, I don't actually want that face to be on the inside. I want it to be gone. Well, that was excessive. It did too much. But that's kind of the example of where you would actually want that to happen. All right, so we got that part. Now we got this, actually that might be a little bit wider. I might grab that geometry, scale that. That didn't do what I wanted. Then we're gonna have a light and a light bulb coming out of here. I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go into context, make this its own group to isolate geometry. And then you can come in here, draw a line straight down. I'm gonna come up like this. And then I'll just go up that, and I'll come along the red. I'm gonna draw this all as one assembly, basically the light bulb and the light cover. The light, it's not a shade, it's glass. What's that called? A thing. don't laugh at my request. A light.
Shade, that's good.
It's
helps out there.
I know that's not like a made up thing. I know it's real. Oh boy. Okay. I'm gonna draw this with sure. It doesn't seem right, but it's better than what we got so far. So I'm gonna do something like that, and then I'm gonna put a circle right about here.
We got diffuser, we got shade, we got thingy.
See, somebody's speaking my language right there. That last one. You've watched the show before. All right. Something like that. I'm gonna draw a new circle. This is what Tyson was talking about earlier. I'm gonna go to the point right here. I'm gonna come just above it and draw my circle. Select that. Tools. Follow me. A little bit. My circles. Let's see if I can do this. See if I can scale this. That's not what I'm looking for. That's not a bad look, but it's not what I was looking for. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can do it here. If I just grab this line and I scoot it, there we go. Not that this is, I mean, there's all kinds of different light thingies out there in the world, so anything like this works, but I'm trying to go for kind of like what that looks good. I like that. All right, get rid of the circle. Okay, and now I'm gonna come in here. All right, so I gotta bring this in. Command X, come in here, edit, no, wait, not yet. One more. There we go. Edit, paste in place. Intersect face with context. It says only the stuff that's actually in this part of the model. And that'll give me this extra face to delete. Now, if I wanted to, I could explode this out, that sort of thing, but I'm excited to see how this looks. So I'm gonna wait a second. Yeah, I can already tell this pipe is too long, but we'll take that, go to copy, or I'm sorry, rotate, grab here, and then we'll go from this point, option, bring it around to here, to X. It looks okay, but definitely, yeah, I'm gonna shorten this. Again, because it's in context, because it's in here, I can actually take these pieces and grab this. We'll move it along the blue axis. It's just going to push it back. We'll go 8 inches. And I'll grab this, move it along the blue axis 8 inches. It's kind of an easy way to clean that up. Oh, baby. Yeah, that's looking good. All right, so obviously there's some tweaking I could do with where the light angle and that kind of thing, but I think we got that. We got what's going on. I'm gonna go ahead and take this and explode these pieces so I can get rid of this line right here. Like I said, the one more thing I want to do is I want to take that geometry, group it, and then slide it, option, directly over here. Rotate it 90. Drop it straight down. I copied it. There we go. Extra. I'm going to slide it back this way until it's just about to go in. And then I'm going to come in here. Oh, that's neat. I wonder. That's an interesting thing that I did.
You did that.
I guess so. Oh, there's the problem. Extra line in there won't let it close. Ah. And I clicked in the wrong spot. Okay, there we go. All right, get rid of all this stuff. If I can disconnect, whoops, too much. If I can disconnect this line from the edges, and I can triple click that to get rid of just that line. Oh, more. All of that I was doing just to, like, this teeny little piece that you're not even able to see.
Working on a scale of like 0.5 millimeter.
I know. All right, so then reverse the face and just pull it through, which in real life is about this long. Oh. Good stuff. All right, if we want to do that, now I got that in there. Oh.
All right, here's another plugin idea.
All right.
And you helped this for me. Okay, I'm throwing out gold today.
Here's a thing for someone else to
Here's
do.
a thing for someone else. So we have color by tag, color by layers, previous sense of stuff. So what if there was a color by relative size? And that way, when you're in there working on details that won't get seen compared to the rest of your model, maybe it starts being like, this is not so important because you can see how big it is comparatively.
I don't dislike that idea at all. It's hard. It's easy to get stuck modeling something and not realizing that you can't see that detail. At least for me, I do that
all the time.
Oh yes.
It's fun. That's part of it.
That is part of it.
Details are fun.
All right, so I'm gonna make a little pull here. Yeah, so now I'm dealing with small geometry. It's I'm making my own pole, by the way. I'm not using theirs. Mine's cooler. All right. Kind of feeling, oh, here, let's put it back upside down so you can see. All right. All right, I feel pretty good about this here ceiling fan I made. Yeah. What do you guys think? What does everybody think?
All right, let's hear it, everyone. One comment that has come in a few times is there's a couple people who really want you to make the blades stretch them out a little bit. I think that's personal choice. So you do you.
You know, they do come in different sizes, but I get you. All right. I think, so I could use scale, but scale's going to mess up this right here because we'll pull that out and it'll be stretched and then the edge won't overlap that right. So I think the easier thing to do is going to be just grab this geometry right here and move it right along the red axis. So if I click here, I look a little better. Yeah, you were absolutely right, y'all. I'm trying.
Nice.
I can't quite line it up, but yeah, that's about in the right ballpark.
That is the beauty of that little 3D mouse. I don't think you can do this with anything else.
Yeah. Cool. All right. How's that? Other than that, much better. You know, it's funny because we've put fans in like our kids' rooms that have had like 12-inch blades or like little teeny, you know, for excuse me, for small rooms. But yeah, as soon as you call that out, I'm like, yeah, that doesn't look right for the size of the rest of everything. That was definitely off. Good call. Good call.
Otherwise, yeah. That's looking
Awesome.
mighty fine, sir. Mighty fine.
All right, I'm deleting this extra one now because now I can just turn the world upside down. Well, actually, I should probably do something like, and then put it up in the air. I got to start thinking thumbnail now. That's where I'm at. So, yeah, that was pretty cool. I like that. If I do say so myself. Well, of course, I can only say I like that for myself because I'm the only one who knows how I feel about that. All right, I'm going to turn my watermark off. Yes. Sweet. That turned out pretty cool. I like it. I like it a lot.
Here's the other. Again, I'm just throwing gold today. Here's your next plugin idea.
All right.
So you've been going. I mean, we had some audio issues at the beginning, so let's just call this
That we
an
did.
hour and a half.
Okay, let's.
I think it would be fascinating. I know I would enjoy if, again, you could sort of go through to the components and color it by time spent.
Ooh, I wonder if we track anything like that, like the amount of time a component was open. That would be interesting.
Wouldn't it be fascinating? I have no idea how you could do that.
We're basically talking about heat mapping work inside of SketchUp, right?
Yeah.
So at that point,
'Cause you
that
can
would
do
be cool.
I mean, you put a lot of detail into getting the blade holders right, and then once you know, but then you get a lot of mileage out of it.
Yeah. That would be cool. That would be very interesting. Yeah, that was probably the most time-consuming part, which, like I said, that was the part that I wasn't quite sure how I was going to do, but I think it all turned out pretty good. Awesome. Well, hopefully you guys liked that. That was it was a shorter one. Sometimes we go over 2 hours, but usually I'm not too far off of 146. So you're right with the with with our little delay in starting there at the beginning, we probably ended up around an hour and a half of actual modeling time. But
Well, people want you to make it dynamic and be able to turn it on and off and make it spin.
and that's where I say I'll put this on the warehouse, and you are more than welcome to do that. Yeah, we got, and again, guys, I just to point this out, I like dynamic components a lot, and I have spent a lot of time making them, but not enough where I feel confident to sit in front of you and waste your time trying to create something that I don't remember how to do. So it's out of respect for you that I don't do more dynamic components. Yeah. So, hey, while we're here, we got a couple minutes to kill before we sign off. You guys got any other good ideas of things? I think somebody, it was during the Instagram live stream. So every Thursday morning around 9 o'clock Mountain Time, we usually hop on Instagram just to say hi. And somebody threw out the idea of doing a cabin, like a log cabin, as a live model, which, you know, we talk about architecture. When we do buildings, we either do these big masses of the outsides, or we do like buildings you've seen before, but we just create the shell, or we'll do pieces of the inside. So like we've done rooms before, that kind of thing. We try not to do full buildings because in 2 hours, it's kind of rough to knock out a full architectural structure inside and out in 2 hours. But I feel like a log cabin, like, you know, like 20 feet by 40 feet, I don't know how big a log cabin is. I've seen them. I haven't ever measured one. But I feel like that is something that could be done with a fair amount of detail in 2 hours or less. So I'm kind of feeling that for next week. So just a thought. But I would love to hear your guys' ideas. If anybody's got some cool ideas that is not a Frank Gehry building. Well, that's my borders right now. So what do you got that's not a Frank Gehry building?
There's two in here I actually like. One being a grandfather clock.
Ooh. I feel like we've done that. I'll have to go back. Yeah, maybe
That could be fun.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And the submarine from 20,000 leagues under the sea.
Ooh, the Nautilus.
That was a cool.
That was a cool looking.
That old movie is kind of fun. It's
I do
iconic.
like that. Yeah, and it had like
That's a
the
good one.
spines going up, kind of like
Yeah.
a seahorse kind of looking thing with
That
the big eyes.
beautiful, like, curved window.
That was pretty cool. That was good. That's a good call. I like that.
That's a good one. Oh, let's give some time for some more.
Yeah,
Um,
more ideas. Keep them coming.
the grandfather clock. I want to make this in real life. I want to make everything, so I don't know if I'll get to it. But I don't know if you remember, there is a clock in Borderlands, our ever go-to game, and it is a grandfather clock, and it's got all this kind of like weird curvy stuff. I think they introduced it in the DLC Love, Guns, and Tentacles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
It's cool. I want to make
that could be a fun one. That could definitely be fun.
I don't know if I'll model it here, but
It's a very organic shaped in there. I don't know. I don't know if that would be a live one or looking back on trying to find our live playlist to see. I feel like I did one it's a couple of years ago now though, so it might be fun for you to take it and see what you do with the same thing. Because, man, I'm trying to get to just get to the playlist.
I will, I guess I'll throw in, if you do a self-plug, is it anything but shameless?
It depends. If you're confident in it, I don't think there's any shame in it. It's,
I did a speed model of not a full grandfather clock, but it was more of a desk-sized clock on my personal YouTube channel. That's a SketchUp speed model. So if you go to Geeks Woodshop YouTube channel. I've got some SketchUp speed models on there, and one of them is a clock. Until
That's
we do
pretty
it
cool.
again here.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I'm just imagining that, but maybe we didn't do that ever. But yeah, I think that would be a good one. That would be fun. So we got the grandfather clock, we got the Nautilus. Other ideas coming up.
There is, Kegi suggested a different clock, a steam-powered clock. This is interesting in Vancouver.
Ooh. That
Yes.
it's
That actually, this, if you can see it, this would definitely be a fun model, and it looks like.
Oh,
you
very
just
cool.
model-
looks like a mini Big Ben.
Yeah.
I was just flipping through our old ones, and Big Ben's one of them. And I was thinking, I think that's what we did was we modeled 1/4 of it and did, yeah, an array.
Somebody threw in the Barcelona church and your band for live.
Sorry, it's the rules.
Yeah. Golden Gate
I-
Bridge. Did you ever do that one?
No, we've done one or two bridges. One bridge. I know we did I did the Tower Bridge, and that was a fun one. When you get to stuff like that, there's this hard thing with models like that where the initial massing of something like a bridge goes super quick, and then as soon as you start adding details, it's hard with something that big to find that right level of detail. With something smaller, you can go, okay, I'm gonna go to this level of detail, and you can be consistent with that. With this, I didn't put in all the screws or the seams where the different pieces of metal met, because that's beyond what I could do in a couple hours. With something as big as a bridge, it's hard to find that right level of detail where it's not just a big mass. But bridges they're interesting. They're interesting things. I mean, they're fascinating engineering wise too, like what they do. Yeah, they got very interesting jobs. But I was going to say that, like, so complaining about that last request and forbidding Frank Gehry buildings from being suggested, it's not fear that drives that. There's some really cool stuff out there. It's two things. One, some of those buildings, finding information on how they go together is difficult. And modeling some of those complex three-dimensional shapes just off of photos is rough. Totally can be done, but it's not a quick and easy thing to do. And not that 2 hours is quick and easy. I think we've tackled some models that I've been impressed with what we've done in 2 hours, but some of those, it would be hard to get past like a super high level problem solving mass in like 2 hours. So not fear when we do that. It's just really trying to come up with the best model. So we're spending good time, and you guys, it's worth your time to watch too. So yeah, so to throw that out. Ooh, a steamboat.
With those big paddles,
That would be
interesting.
fun.
Now, have you done you've done a sailing ship, and you've done the Orca, right?
We did pirate ship and orca, so next boat's yours, yeah.
Wait, no, I mean, you gotta do the triple.
Oh, that's trifecta. Yeah, haven't done a paddle boat. That would be kind of cool. That would be again, you'd say at a kind of a high level, but get the pieces in there, and that's cool too, because when you do a paddle boat, you're kind of doing like almost like a hotel, like multiple levels where you got main floor, then second floors, and windows and doors. That'd be that'd be a fun one for sure.
Do you remember somebody else suggested that that time machine? And I'm thinking of the old movie. There's
Mhm.
multiple versions, but the old sort of steampunk looking.
Yeah, I was thinking of the one with Guy Pearce,
Oh.
and yeah, it was totally steampunk, like lots of tubes and switches and pipes and things. But yeah, the old one, wasn't the back of it like a big glass clock or something? Like the back of it?
Yeah.
Like look at the face of Big Ben kind of thing? That'd be kind of fun. That'd be fun to look up
That's
too.
interesting.
A lot of good ideas today, guys. This is awesome.
As Aaron mentioned, sometimes these great ideas, you just get stymied by the resources you can find on
Mm-hmm.
them. Because if you can find a few pictures from a movie or something, that may not be enough
Mm-hmm.
to like drag somebody through figuring it out in real time.
Yeah, that's also rough too, because like I'll sit down on my own time and try to model something that I don't know how to model. And working through that process is fine, but it's very internal. To sit down at a blank SketchUp screen, like, and watch somebody, that's where speed models come in, right? So figuring something out and having something come from nothing to fruition in a speed model works, but like sitting and watching somebody for the first hour and not knowing what they're trying to do, it's rough. So that's why we try to find stuff with good photo reference or plans or something like that to work off of. But I say that knowing that next week we're going to do a log cabin and we'll probably just make it up as we go. So that was a lie. All right.
All right, we're gonna ban somebody else here, because, who Chris Sullivan suggested Shelby Cobra.
Oh, come on, man. We've got like 4.5 hours of Cobra already on the channel. If you do go back and look, I don't know why, but we did leave the original Cobra up, the failed attempt, which was an hour and a half of beating my head against the wall. It was just all poorly done, and I did not maintain my model very good. But we did a second one where it was much more, it was much better. So we did create a Cobra body using, I think it was subdivided, sub D, but it does exist. So yeah. And the next you're going to suggest a video card, which we also won't do again.
Quickest way to get banned.
Oh man, you're out. We're joking, of course. You throw those bad ideas out as much as you want.
We
It's fine.
could model a 3D printer. We could also, we could do something where we just focus on creating a few 3D printable models. And
That could be fun.
principles around that, and of course we could model a 3D printer.
That would be cool. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe we, because we have in our new building here, we actually have a maker space, and we're in the process right now of trying to stock it with tools and that kind of thing. So we're talking to 3D printer companies and talking about like, getting some different manufacturers to, give us good deals on stuff, hardware to put in there. And maybe one of those, maybe we'll get something and, bring it in and start modeling based off the real thing. That could be kind of a fun thing to do.
I do agree with this one. Your 3D mouse there.
Yeah, it's one of those where I've looked at it many times and I've gone, okay, yeah, okay. And I always get stuck on this right here. So if you can see on my mouse, so this shape right here is not bad. The side profile is actually not too bad. Those, I could do the splines there. It's got this kind of a ridge that goes up along the buttons, but in the middle here, it's got like this bump right before the puck, which is very comfortable. It's very nice to rest your hand on, but I keep getting caught on how to make that rise up, and I don't know. Maybe it would be a subdivided model or something.
Well, and
Maybe. I'm not saying no. Not saying yes.
the thing about, when I look at that too, it's, I'm sure that's come up. And the thing that I think mentally, this is just me, I would have to cope with is that I would not be able to resolve all the buttons with the surface in a way that would be satisfying. They wouldn't be resolved well. So
Right.
you would either just drop the buttons down into the surface, but you would not be able to recess them correctly.
Well, and the problem with this too, these buttons up here are one thing, but the ones here on the side, they actually follow the curve of the mouse. So none of these actually have flat surfaces. They're all like, so you'd almost have to take this shape, like joint push, pull it up to use it as the face for these buttons, which all come in also. Hold on. Woo!
Yeah.
Just broke my brain a little bit.
Okay, well, here, just, instead of the enterprise one, just do the puck.
That I've done. That's follow me. I can do that. Cool. So yeah, I got some other ideas for some planes. All right.
Those would be fun.
Those would be all right. Cool. Well, hey, we got some great comments. I'm going to go back through here, make a list. But yeah, I think we'll call it now. It's 2 o'clock. I've been on here for 2 hours. Appreciate you guys. Those of you who hung around and gave ideas, that's awesome. That's a lot of fun because every once in a while, Tyson or I will be sitting at this point where our design department's like, hey, I got to make an image to put on social to promote your live stream. What are you modeling? And we go, oh, just a sec. What do we got around here? Light, Luber. Yeah, so it's cool to, I always appreciate it when you guys hang out with us. And hopefully you accept our reason for turning down certain models. But yeah, so we're going to call it at that point. Thank you guys so much. On behalf of Tyson, myself, and Goose was in here for a little while. After we turned his mic off, he decided he was going to leave, which makes a lot of sense. But thank him for monitoring comments for the first few minutes and helping us get through the audio problems. Thank you for sticking with us through the audio problems. Hope you guys have a great week. Have an awesome weekend. Stay safe, stay sane, and we will see you all next time.
Hey, y'all. Have a great one. Bye now.